Alright, so the Nanlite Pavotube RGBs just got upgraded with the Nanlink remote controller, and this thing, is so good. How's it going? My name is Andrew Murphy from Down Under in Gold Coast, Australia. So Nanlite Pavotubes aren't anything new. They've been around for a while now. A lot of people are using them and a lot of people are actually loving them. I'm actually using them right now. But yeah, they just got seriously upgraded with this. This thing is amazing. But real quick, the Nanlite Pavotube is a full RGB tube light that comes in a 25 centimeter, 77 centimeter, and 117 centimeter length, and also has full CCT control as well as effects on it as well. Now, Nanlite's lights have amazing color accuracy and control, but up until now, the only way to actually like wirelessly control them was with this big, chunky, expensive, it's called like a CNW2 wireless controller, which really wasn't like a great option for most people, but it was the best option at the time. But now with the new Nanlink remote controller, it's out, and this thing only costs 39 Australian dollars. We can control nearly every single Nanlite light. Now, to actually connect our lights to the remote, we simply go into the menu and find either the channels or the address setting, and then just basically set this to a number that we want. Now, the actual Nanlink remote is only limited to 12 channels, but you can set as many lights as you want onto each of these individual channels, as long as you want the settings to be the same. So say if you had like 4 Pavotubes and you wanted them to all be like this blue that I've got, this teal that I got back here, you can set them all to the same channel, and then you can control them all on the exact same one rather than having to individually do it. And once your lights are actually all set up, it's super easy to control the color, the brightness, the saturation, and the color temperature as well from the little Nanlink remote. And honestly, as like a one-man band, one-man shooter, this saves a ton of time for me, because instead of having to actually go up to each individual light, tweak it, come back, double check to see what it looks like, I can literally just set up like a wireless video feed and then just sit in front of the camera, kind of play around with it, tweak the settings to make them look good, and it's so much quicker as well. And also, if you're putting lights in like really awkward, hard to reach places that makes it hard to actually adjust stuff, this makes it so easy because you can just mount it wherever you want and then control it all through this. So as a bit of an example, I'm currently using a Pavotube 15C as my key light, and if I just press off, I can turn it off, super easy. And I'm also using a Pavotube 15C as this backlight as well. So again, can turn it on, can turn it off. I can change it from, blue to normal. Like, there's just so many different things. And then also, I've got an FS150 back here. I can turn that off, and that's gonna turn off the little gobo that we got back here. Like, so many different options. But by far, my absolute favorite feature would be being able to change the HSI color values with this remote, because like sometimes you don't really know what color kind of looks good in the scene you're in. So for instance, this one, I've basically used this exact remote to set this color, but all I did is basically, as I was setting up this scene, this environment, I basically just was scrolling through the colors until I could see a color that worked good and looked nice for this setup. And literally it's like so quick, because you can just hold it and cycle through the different colors and then basically look at your monitor and just go, yep, that's kind of like, tweak it a little bit, and then you're good to go. And it makes it so easy to kind of be creative with like different colored lights and color contrast and stuff, because you can quickly change it to see what it's gonna look like instantly. One feature that I think is really cool, and I'm not exactly sure how it works, but once you actually set the settings on the remote, it somehow stores the values. I'm not sure if it stores it on the light or on the remote, not 100% sure, but basically if you change the settings on the light, like physically, and then you press the power button on this, whatever settings are on this, it'll then go directly onto there, which is really cool. Now, the biggest complaint I have heard about the Nanlink remote is like, why not just use a mobile app? And Nanlink is currently developing a mobile app for these lights, but there are a few different situations where it might be easier and more practical to use an actual physical remote. For example, if you're using like Nanlite products on a film set, it probably isn't super professional or maybe even allowed to be actually like pulling out your phone to change some of the lights. And by the time you've actually pulled out your phone, connected, adjust the lights, all that kind of stuff, you could have easily just done it on this, put it back and be ready to go. But the downside of using a remote like the Nanlink is that it's just basic control. So obviously there's no display to show like the exact settings for each light that you are actually controlling on the remote controller itself. And I've noticed that when using the Pavotube, the actual screen on the back just defaults to like the actual address screen. It doesn't show you what the settings are, even if you're adjusting it through this. But if you are using the Nanlink to control like the Pavotube 6C Mark II and the Mixpanel and the FS150, when you are actually adjusting it, you can see the settings on the back. So if you want to replicate that, then you can just look at the back and then adjust this and then store it on this, or however it stores, I'm not exactly sure. Now the Nanlink remote also has this little FX button, but unfortunately this currently only works on the Forza 300B, but hopefully this will work on like future products down the line. But honestly, if you do have any Nanlite products, there basically is no reason why you shouldn't get one of these little Nanlinks. It's super cheap, super lightweight, gives you so much control over your lights super quickly as well. Right guys, if you did enjoy this one, then consider liking and subscribing. And if you want to find out where to actually get one of these or find out a little bit more about it, I'll leave some links down below. And as always, stay creative and just be you. See ya.